Welcome to the SwimSwam podcast. I'm your host, Coleman Hodges. Joining us today, we've got the number one recruit in the class of 2021. He is fresh off of breaking two national high school records at the Oklahoma High School State Championships. Today, we're talking to Aiden Hayes. What's up, Aiden?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Let's get right to the meat of it. Take me through this meet. You dropped a 45-47 in the 100-yard fly minutes after you went 19-0 in the 50-yard freestyle. How are you feeling heading into this meet, and what'd you make of it?
Pretty good. Last time we spoke, I came right off of that pro series, and I had a couple of long course swims. I was really happy with those. We obviously hadn't had any short swims throughout the entire season. Nothing tapered, especially with juniors getting canceled, and then nothing kind of in the middle of the season. So we didn't really have a mid-season meet other than that pro series for me. So coming into the meet, short course, I wouldn't say hesitant, but we were kind of testing the waters a little bit, so to speak. We really didn't know where we were at. So coming into the meet, we had some goals, obviously. They were pretty lofty this season. So the goals coming into the meet, I knew what I was swimming. So the goal was 20.9 in the 50 back, 18.9 in the 50 free, 44.9 in the 100 fly, and then 42.9 in the 100 free. Unfortunately, I only ended up getting one of those. But obviously, goals aren't something meant to be reached every single time you swim. So I'm still really pleased with the meet.
And I didn't even mention your relay swims. You were 20.7 in that 50 back, which is flying. And so you met that goal, and then pretty sure you let off the relay in 43.00. Is that right?
43.00. Yeah, that's stalling a little bit.
But so overall, were you pleased with your swims and how you were able to move through that final session, being, having four swims in a span of 2 hours?
Yeah, absolutely. We came into it that 50 back, and I was excited from prelims, especially because 20.75 was the fastest I've been in a long time and the fastest by a lot. So I was really pleased with that. And I knew after prelims, I still had a lot to chunk off, especially in the 50 free. I knew 19.5 was just kind of getting in the rhythm. We used that morning to just work on technique and kind of go through the rhythm and everything. And we came into finals, and I was really pleased with my swims. It was, for a lot of people who don't know, when they say 15 minutes apart, they actually had a watch at the meet. And from when I finished and touched the wall on the 50 freestyle, and from when I jumped off the block for the 100 fly, it was 13 minutes and 40 seconds. So something around there.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
and part of that 50 freestyle, I was happy with 19.2, obviously breaking that national high school record. Obviously, with SECs and ACCs going on right now, there's a lot of fast swimming. So that was some motivation. I fired down that 19.2, and Matt Brownstead and Adam Cheney go out and, fire 18.7 and 18.8. So there's nothing such as the perfect swim. Obviously, with those guys setting those swims out there this week, there's a target to go for right away. It's not just, hey, we went this time, is great for it. And same thing for the 100 fly. I mean, today, yesterday, Luca swimming a 44.9. He's one of the younger swimmers. Camden Murphy blowing it out of the water. Same with Danny Kovac. And then Yusuf Ramadan tonight, 44.32.
I was going to ask if you'd seen that yet.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was crazy. So really pleased with the swims, but there's still a lot more to do. And I'm really excited for what's to come in the future.
Yeah. So, I mean, you already shared your lofty goals, and it's exciting to see that, even seeing those swims on paper and being like, whoa, that's really fast, and talking to you, and you're like, yeah, they're good, but we got work to do. That's exciting. So I want to ask about the work leading into this meet. Again, we haven't spoken in a few months. So what's training been like for you these last few months, especially given, what COVID restrictions might look like for you?
Yeah, so after that pro series meet, we went to it. It was super successful. We knew we needed to focus a little bit on strength, and especially back half a little bit. It's not something that shined, especially at my high school state meet, but it was something that improved a lot from what it was before. So straight after the pro series, we really hammered weights. I think we had 6 to 7 weeks in between the pro series and the high school state.
Hmm.
So we really hammered weights and dry land and really focused on power swimming in the water. We wanted to focus on grip, especially for backstroke. I only did a 50 this weekend. Wish we could have got 100 in. But luckily, we've got the pro series coming up this next week, so that'll be fun. But I think in that time span of 7 weeks, from the pro series to high school state, I think it was 156 pounds leaving the pro series. And I think last week, 2 days before high school state, I was 165. So we packed on a little bit of weight going into there. And that's especially the goal going into trials, not just to pack on weight, but to put on muscle in the right places and not bulk up too much and just put it on where I need it. That way we can apply it in the water.
Yeah. Do you do you have a specific trainer or weight coach, or is the your swim coach helping you with this as well?
Yeah, my head coach, Kent Nicholson, and then my dad. And then we have our assistant coach, Casey. We all work together. We don't have anything specific. We don't have like a specific dry land coach or a specific weights coach. We all just kind of, whatever coach is there shows up and we're ready to go. But Kent Nicholson probably does the majority of our weightlifting and longer yard practices. And then my dad, Ben Hayes, who's a volunteer coach, does our dry lands and our technique morning practices.
Hmm. And do you guys have a flow of how you go throughout the week in terms of a training plan, or is it kind of more of just this is what we're going to focus on today?
Yeah, so usually Monday. So our practice schedule: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. We have dry land, like nighttime. It's about an hour and a half of just calisthenics, working on body weight, push ups, pull ups, sit ups, stuff like that. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And we'll take a day off if we're feeling sore, something like that. It's not just hammer it 24/7. We try to be smart about it.
Hmm.
Weightlifting is Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning. Swimming is Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. And then we swim in the afternoon for about 2 hours, Monday through Saturday. Sometimes on Sunday, this late in the season, we'll do 7 days a week. But usually it's just a Monday through Saturday type of deal.
7 days a week. What is the ideology there?
So usually the way it'll work is a Monday long swim through. Every morning practice is either a test set or it's technique work. There's no in between, unfortunately. So like a Monday will be technique work, just kind of cleaning up, working on underwaters, getting used to the week. Wednesday we'll hammer like a test set. Friday we'll do some off the block speed type stuff. But in the afternoon, Monday will be loosen up, long swim. Tuesday we'll hammer it pretty hard. And then really Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we really get after it. And then Saturday will most of the time be off the block speed. And then Sunday will be like a recovery, put yourself back together type of deal.
Hmm. Interesting. And you said this late in the season you might be going 7 days a week. So when does that seventh day come into play, and then when does it leave as well?
Probably I would say when we're about 2 months out from taper, we'll start splattering them in here and there. So we'll have maybe for the first 4 months of the long course season, say your season 7 months long, first 4 months, you'll go Monday through Friday, Saturday off, Sunday on for technique for 1 month, and then swap it, and you'll have Saturdays on and Sundays off. And then those last 2 months leading into your taper, it's full blown. But obviously, when we're full blown, if we're going to have a 7 day week practice, rather than 2 hours in the afternoon, we'll cut it down to an hour and a half. That way, you're not working yourself too much. And we really put an emphasis on sprinting with technique. We're not just out there, going as hard as you can all the time. It's really race pace training, so to speak. But then obviously we lengthen that out to hundreds, 200s, 300s, stuff like that.
Nice. So I'm looking at ACC results, and I gotta ask, Was it motivating at all, or did you have a reaction to realize that that NC State didn't have a finalist, an A finalist in the 50 free, the first time in like a decade, and B, that your time would have easily made that A final at ACCs?
It's motivating. It's motivating and kind of it hurts a little bit. Obviously, you want your team to do great where you're going, but we knew this was going to be a tough year. We have several guys taking red shirts this year to focus for the Olympics, which is understandable, and that's happening all over the country for several teams. So it hurts a little bit, to see maybe we're not placing where we were last year, but overall, I think the guys are doing really well. I mean, still in the 50 free, we had Noah drop a 19.27 leading off the relay. That was his best time by a little bit. We have Casper tonight in the 100 back. He went 45.2 this morning. We had Luke tonight in the 200 free. Freshman drop a 132.
ACC record or meet record. Yeah.
Yeah. They're swimming really well for how many people that are there. It honestly kind of feels the same way my high school team is doing right now. We don't have many people this year, but we did really well with what we had. And I think that's what they're doing up there at ACCs. And me and all the other recruits kind of talked about it. It's motivating that we're going to be able to get there and make an impact. And I know for the guys already there, they're excited, and it just really makes everyone excited for the next 4 years.
It is exciting. Aiden, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Heading into the Pro Swim next weekend, do you have certain events you're targeting or certain things you're focusing on?
We're probably going to we're going to swim the 50 free, 100 fly, 200 fly, and 100 back. Pretty similar to what we swam at the last Pro Series. 200 butterfly, just going to try and cut down a little bit of tenths here and there, clean up the swim, try and get as many swims before trials in as possible. And then just try and finally get those 100 back and 50 free cuts. Last time I swam the 100 back at Pro Series, it didn't go too well, but that was right after the 2 fly, and I'll be a little more rested this time. So hopefully it'll be a little better and we can pick up those trials cuts.
Awesome. Again, I always appreciate talking to you, Hayden. Any parting thoughts before we sign off?
No, I just wish everyone luck out there swimming at all their conference meets and NCAAs coming up. And it's a fast year of swimming, man. It's congratulations to everyone who's made it through this year.
You've been listening to the SwimSwam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take SwimSwam podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.